Well, hi again, and welcome to our BBC here. I'm continuing with The Great Path of Awakening, this wonderful classic guide to using Mahayana Buddhist slogans for our mind training. And I've been very intrigued with this one that's called, I talked about it once in the hall with the motivation, don't put the horse's load on a pony. Maybe I'm intrigued with this because I grew up with some horses and ponies in north central Montana. But I've been thinking about this mind training piece for a little bit and watching when I do it. And I first want to read the few sentences and then talk a little bit about how I experienced this. Don't put the horse's load on a pony. A horse being big, pony being small, for those who may not know. To give someone else an unpleasant job that is your responsibility, or, this one's really good, by resorting to trickery to shift a problem you have encountered to someone else is like putting a horse's load on a pony. Don't do this. I always love these very directive things. Don't do this. So I was thinking about this one that's pretty obvious. You know, you have an unpleasant job and you just shift it off, like, oh, let's say you have the opportunity to put together the chore rotation, and what you do is go, I don't want to do the bathrooms ever, so you just kind of rotate yourself around. And I'm not saying anyone has ever done this, but it might have occurred to my mind once. So that would be the obvious first one. But the second one, resorting to trickery to shift a problem you have encountered to someone else. I was thinking, what's an example of this? And it's like when someone comes to me and they say something and I feel like, uh-oh, I did something wrong. I notice that I skip over that feeling, like I'm feeling a little anxious, and I start talking about someone else. Like someone might come in the kitchen and say, oh, you weren't supposed to use the whatever. And I'll right away start going, well, Venerable so-and-so said blah, blah, or someone told me something different. And right away I'm just, you know, I want to get out from under any scrutiny, you know. And they may not even be feeling that at all. They're just trying to help guide the situation with food flow or the community. But I'm right away, oh, I better shift that. I better shift this focus off myself. So then, but what am I doing? I'm loading it on someone else. This is the part I haven't really thought about. And it could even come into divisive speech. Like, you know, instead of just staying one-on-one with the person and getting clear, I'm pulling someone else in, and it could cause a doubt or a rift or a not good feeling between this person who first started talking and the one not there, who isn't there to be able to say anything. So I'm trying to watch that. It's pretty subtle, but on a certain level these things seem subtle, and then you start watching them and they get pretty gross. But I'm really watching that. Then I started thinking, when I first heard this term, I don't know what text I heard it in. It was actually, don't put an ox's load on a donkey. You know, and that was much more potent for me, because the difference between an ox and a donkey and what they can carry, a donkey's quite small mule, not a mule even, a donkey's a quite much smaller creature. So I really liked it when it was said that way. And then I started thinking how I do this to myself sometimes. I'm a little donkey and I load myself up with what an ox should be carrying during the day. And so one of the obvious ways we all do this in the West, we have this big list in the morning, and we somehow, I don't know why, because we never accomplish this list, but each morning we'll say to ourselves, I'm going to accomplish this list today. And then this, I think it sets a stress right in there all day. You know, it's like, oh, I'm only on number 3 and number 8's way down there. Well, why do this? We're little donkeys. Let's be kind to our little donkey selves, and not disparaging. Donkeys are terrific animals. I had 2 donkeys when I was little. I loved them so much, Zeke and Millie. And So let's just be kind with them and remember what they can do. And what they can do, they do really well. And they'll do willingly. They were willful also. They'll do willingly. They used to pull, Zeke used to pull my brother and I around in a cart. It was very funny to think about. But if we were like trying to go too far or, you know, spanking him, he'd just stop. It was just like the ride is over. So this is what happens with donkeys and oxes. So the ox can carry the ox load, the donkey can carry the donkey load, and let's be kind to ourselves and also to others and just try to match capacity with what the job is. And then just do it nicely, enjoyably, no resentment, and no problem. Okay, so we'll do some more. The book is just packed with them, and we'll do more mind training slogans. Take care.